What's up, guys? We're the Brian Bros.
You're watching Me and My Golf TV, and this is our swing analysis.
Rock on.
Okay, so welcome to another beautiful day here at the Asprey.
Lovely.
This is perfect. We should be playing golf today, Piers.
Yes, we should.
But instead we're doing my swing analysis, and of course we have two very special guests today, George and Wes Bryan, the Brian Bros. If you haven't already seen them, I'm sure you may have seen them, the trick shot guys, and it's also part of our epic golf week between ourselves, Rick Shields, Pete Finch, the Whistle Sports, and the Bryan brothers. So some fantastic content going out this week, US Open week as well. So make sure you take a look at the rest of the other channels, guys, and see what's been going on.
Plenty on, plenty of trick shots, plenty of laughing, plenty of. It's well worth watching.
So we're analysing George and Wes's golf shots here. Two trick shot guys, very talented guys, but they're actually very good golfers as well.
They are indeed,
trying to get on tour as well. So we're going to look at what they have to, what their golf swing's like, and hopefully draw some of the things that they do very well to help you guys at home.
Definitely, and they hit the ball fantastically well off the tee, so that's why we've picked the driver with both of these guys. So if you want to hit the ball longer, if you want to hit the ball straighter, then you need to pay attention to what we're about to say.
Right, I think we need a bit of this, Piers.
We definitely need a bit of this, yes.
Right, let's get into taking a look at their golf swings. So we've got George and Wes on the screen here. Now, they're very good setups, Piers, both of them. Start very well, but when we take a look at George's setup, there's one thing that stands out to us, isn't that? His head position.
Yes, absolutely.
He's got his head tilted to the right and actually sort of turned a little bit as well, so he's really rotated.
Yeah, absolutely.
This sets him up, Piers, in a very different way, but it's a good thing, like we think, to help set him up for the backswing, doesn't it?
Without doubt. So you can see that in George's setup, as you said there, Andy, that he tilts his head backwards. And actually, if we look at the eye line now, we can see that my eye line is going out to the right of the target. So eye line's going out to the right, and because it's tilted back, it's almost going upward as well. So I've got this kind of sort of angle going that way. And if we think about that, well, what would be the dream scenario from that? Well, if we can have our eyes in that position there, that would potentially mean that the path could be more out to the right, and we would hit the ball more on the up.
Definitely.
So this is absolutely perfect. So he's almost priming, getting ready for his ideal downswing with his eye line setup. And a lot of good drivers do this. They actually get their eyes out to the right and then up as well, obviously, and then the path then it just equals high draw.
It does, and we're always telling people to get a little bit more behind it, get more spine tilt.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It's very difficult to get your setup, Piers.
If I go over here and then do that, that's not going to work.
It's pretty tricky, so it's a great way to set yourself up for a good backswing.
Without doubt.
Right, let's go into the backswing now. So as we go back, the thing that sort of strikes out really important for us with this piece is the amount of turn they get. They really wind up that upper body over the,
That's pretty impressive,
the stable lower base.
Are they younger than us?
I think they might be a little bit younger.
They're a bit younger than us.
Maybe a little bit more flexible. And one thing at the top of the golf swing you'll see, again, plenty of head rotation. That's an important thing there. And the left shoulder is really over the right knee, isn't it? We can see that they've really wound up over the right side, ready to produce that sort of good delivery. And they set themselves up so well to deliver that golf club, you know, on a good angle piece.
They're in an ideal position there, as you said, Andy, to hit that golf ball on the way up. They've got lots of power, there's an amazing amount of rotation, still got the stability in the lower body, so they are primed, ready to go.
Definitely. So as we move down into sort of the downswing, again, they start the downswing really well, lower body, and then they get into some fantastic impact position where that club is coming from a low to high, isn't it, Piers? They get that club, the low point down towards the bottom, where just before the golf ball, and that enables them to get that nice sweeping motion up, which we know is so important, and we know we don't see that often with the amateur golfers out there. They often obviously hitting too much down on the golf ball with a driver.
Absolutely, you can see that with both the guys there, but Wes in particular there, you can see that club is coming from low to high, and that may be something to do with the fact how he plays the trick shots as well, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. All right, okay, let's take a look at the down the line view then, and very similar things again. I think they practice together and look at each other golf swing a lot. Now what we're going to notice in the first move away, that with parallel point one, Wes and George get the club in front of their hands, Piers.
They do
the club is in front of their hands at parallel point one, and this sort of sets themselves up for a slightly steeper backswing. So as we go up to the top of the golf swing, what this then allows them to do, because of this slightly steeper angle on the way back, Piers, that enables them then to start the downswing with the lower body and shallow the golf swing out. So that club then shallows out, so it goes steep to shallow. You can see by the trace there on the screen, that club now is coming from a slightly shallower angle on the backswing, and again, this just enables them to deliver that golf club on a good playing pace as well.
It's interesting that, you know, if you look at the majority of tour pros out there, that's very much a trait that they will have as well. We did a video a couple of weeks ago on David Ledbetter's A swing, the alternative swing, and you can see that it's not as extreme as the A swing, but it has the same traits, and it's very rare that the best players will let the club come around their body in the backswing. They will generally go out and then under, or what they feel is out and under.
Yeah, and we see all the time that most amateurs come in and over, so it's the reverse of that.
So if you do that, keep watching, because we're going to show you some drills on how to do that.
So some fantastic things they do there, Piers.
Really good.
So let's go through then let's maybe go through some drills that the guys at home can take away from that and work on and get into some similar positions or some similar feelings to set themselves up like George and Wes.
Okay, absolutely. So I think, you know, interesting you said about the setup first of all. We said about the eye line. So let's just go with that one very quickly. So we do something called the K-bomb, where we actually get the feeling that we're sort of tilted back behind the golf ball here. You can see the shape of my body is very much going to hit the golf ball on the way up. And then if I get the eye line there, very much like George got, I'm primed, ready to hit that golf ball on the way up. So that's a good start from there.
Okay.
Now, as far as the backswing is concerned, we very much mentioned that we'll go with the front-on view first of all on the wind-up. We mentioned that the lower body was extremely stable. Okay, so they're obviously athletes. So you just got to be careful. You know, replicating these guys totally, you know, exactly the same may be very difficult. They spend a lot of time in the gym, a lot of time on the practice range, but what they get is they get a very good stable lower body, but as they swing back, the upper body very much rotates past that. So the lower body you can see is turned maybe, in my case, 40 degrees, but the upper body you can see, maybe in George's case, he really sort of winds and gets the shoulder around there, but you can see massive amount of turn, but look where my left shoulder is. Yeah. It's over my trail knee. So my lead shoulder is over my trail knee. So I'm definitely wound up behind the golf ball now, ready to launch it.
Can you hold it there for a minute?
No, I'm going to start again.
I'm just going to point out that what George does, again, George allows this to turn. Yep. Now, a lot of people focus on keeping that head still. Now, if you keep the head still, guess what? You're not going to be able to rotate those shoulders. So a little bit of head rotation actually aids a good rotation of the spine. So
does indeed.
For those guys at home who are trying to keep their head still, you don't really want to focus on that because the head does move from a rotational element. Yeah, there we go. That actually just helped you there, Piers, didn't it, as well?
Okay, I've got another 10 degrees out there.
So it's an interesting point to mention that actually allowing the head to turn is okay. So great thing to do in the mirror there, Piers, seeing where that left shoulder is, getting it over that trail knee is going to load that right side and prepare you for a good downswing.
You want to hit long, powerful, straight tee shots. This is what you've got to do definitely in that backswing.
Okay, right, let's go into the
down the line, down the line, or down the line. Okay. So yeah, interesting. We said obviously, you know, that the path of the club on the way back, so it was steeper in this area here, and then shallow in the downswing. So the way we want to feel that really, what is actually happening. Obviously, let's just go through that again. Sorry. So from there, as the club goes back, you'll notice that the club head appears to be outside of the hands. Okay, so it appears to be outside of the hands. But the biggest problem people do when they work at this and get this feeling, they often get the club head outside the hands by doing that.
By moving their arms away, yeah.
By moving their arms from their body. Now you'll see that when George and Wes did this, they did not move their arms away from their body. Left arm and left chest, they maintained their connection, but all that's happened is the hands have come back virtually what will feel like a straight line to start with, and then they'll arc around the body, but you can see the club head is just in front of them.
Definitely, and that then sets them up for a slightly steeper backswing on the way back then, and then from there obviously they shallow out from there. So I mean, this is something that we see a lot with where people, we call it the disconnected move away, don't we, Piers, where a lot of the golfers that we coach get the club head working too much in and around the body. So we've got a great drill that can help get the feeling of actually moving the handle away and getting into this first sort of position on the way back here with the same as George and Wes.
Absolutely.
Piers,
okay.
through it for us.
So what we're going to do is we're just going to get the golf club and we're going to hold down the handle considerably. So your bottom hand, your trail hand is actually touching the shaft of the golf club, yeah? And then from there, as you swing back, you're going to make sure that when you get to here, this area here where the hands have gone past the leg, that the club, the shaft, is pointing at the right hip pocket. Okay, so we can see that when I'm at this stage here, there's no disconnected move away there, but I'm just getting the feeling there of the club shaft pointing at my hip.
Definitely, and I mean that's going to feel strange for somebody who's been whipping that club inside out there, sorry, inside underneath the plane there, and you're very much feeling that the handle is moving away rather than the club head.
We see that position there so much, don't we? So where the shaft and the club totally disconnects, you can see where it's pointing. Keep that shaft pointing at the hip pocket.
Okay, right, so I think two great things that they can take from that, Pierce. A great wind up, getting themselves loaded onto this trail side with that left shoulder over the trail knee, and then from there keeping that sort of the grip end working away and getting yourself in a slightly better backswing position is going to help.
Great feeling for me. I do this myself as well because I really like to get the sensation. I talk about it probably every video. I talk about the fact that you're getting the bicep on the pec. It's just so important for that connection. Really helps with that wind up.
Okay, right, Pierce.
I'm going to hit this one.
Okay.
I've got to hit this one. I've got to hit this one in the air, or can I go off for tee?
Oh, you can go for tee.
I'll go for tee. All right. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give myself that little K-bomb setup. I'm going to tilt the head a little bit, like George does, and then from there I'm going to get a good wind up with a good backswing play. I've got to think about all of those things, have I?
You can do it.
I could do that.
You can multitask.
Of course I can. Here we go. Brian Brothers, we're coming to get you.
There we go. Pierce, not bad at all there. So
like
two great things that you can take from that. Backswing, winding up over the trail side, you're going to hit longer and straighter drives. Okay, so some great things there to improve your backswing and ultimately improve that driving. Post any questions you have down below and also subscribe to the channel down here also for more videos every single week.
Absolutely, guys. Now, as we said before, this is part of the Epic Golf Week, so make sure you check out Rick Shields, Peter Finch on YouTube, on Instagram. Also, make sure you check out the Bryan Brothers on YouTube. Lots of great trick shot videos on there, and the Whistle Sports as well. They're the guys that got us all together. So, guys, check it out, Epic Golf Week, and also make sure you check out the 3-hole match tomorrow. Thanks for watching.
See you guys.